Knock it off. What's the difference between 5 big black guys and a joke? Baxley's mom can't take a joke.
You know, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I've never been a huge Predator fan. I don't hate them by any means, but I just feel that Alien is far superior. Obviously, I compare the two because they connect, that's a topic for another day. But even though it might not be as good as Alien, it does do one thing just as well. Refusing to fucking end. Granted, Alien Covenant might be the end of that franchise, but I find that doubtful. And yes, I know that Prey is supposedly a good movie, I haven't really seen it yet. But all that means is they have an excuse to make even more shitty movies, like The Predator. Not only is the name uninspired, but it carries over a lot of elements from recent Alien movies and AVP. Like utterly stupid plots that make no sense, characters that might entertain you if you lack the ability to think, and a motherfucking kid. If you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie, then, well, it's something you really must see to believe. So let's analyze The Predator, and resent the fact that it's probably not the end. We open with an epic space battle. Oh, you think I'm kidding? No, it's so epic that the fleeing ship tears a hole in the space-time itself. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to have a successful landing, so let's cut away from that right now and instead focus on the lead protagonist, Quinn McKenna. He's a military sniper on a mission to shoot somebody in the head. Well, he's devoted, I'll give him that. It was a fucking spaceship that flew ahead, but it's not that fascinating. It does just so happen to crash right there, forcing him to run, but he's fine. And he's even able to dig through his stuff, in which he finds a mask and a bracer.
Fuck is that, Cap?
It's above our pay grade.
A good enough reason to try it on, I guess. There is a third guy, too. Was a third guy. And the Predator appears. But it's okay, because I have complete faith in McKenna and his friend to take it out. And the random friend's lifespan? 10 seconds. Could have been worse. Luckily, the bracer randomly goes off, wounding the Predator and cutting his friend in half. This helps to somewhat reveal the Predator's shape if you haven't seen one yet, and McKenna's stupidity as he runs away opposed to finishing it off. You know, I got the feeling that's gonna do something, eventually. Meanwhile, a helicopter shows up revealing the obvious bad guy, Will Traeger, who's out to find the Predator along with anything that isn't from Earth. Random? Despite this devotion, McKenna easily manages to get out of there, allowing him to test out his new toy. It's a cloaking device that's quite different from the ones in the other Predator movies, but it is useful. It allows him to force the guy to mail a secret item to his P.O. box back in America, but it's not good enough to help him escape the police, even though it's a cloaking device, so instead he eats it. The fuck? Back in America, we're finally introduced to the motherfucking kid, who is going to be forcibly plot relevant.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
This is partly due to the fact that he's McKenna's son, who, despite being special needs, is left alone after the bullies pull the fire alarm. Or maybe that's just how they react to fire alarms, as they don't seem too enthused about getting out of there.
I'm hungry for an ass
burger.
Sounds delicious. A nice, big, juicy ass burger.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm used to movie bullies doing excessively stupid things, being excessively mean, but this is just weird. They say they want to eat his ass and knock over the chess pieces that weren't his. That'll show him. But at least they're supposed to be assholes. Check out the note his mom leaves him. I think you meant to say, I will kill you. That's obviously a joke, but cut you? That's disturbing. Anyway, since his dad hasn't been paying his P.O. box fees, the package comes to his house instead. I guess they've never heard of late fees? Meanwhile, at a university in Maryland, another amazing character is introduced, Dr. Brackett.
I understand you enjoy stargazing.
Just to clarify, the motherfucking kid, despite his role, is still a good actor, while she isn't that good in this, but I should mention before either of our two fans start complaining, it's not completely her fault. They incidentally hired a sex offender in this, which they did share scenes with, and she wasn't too pleased. As a result, they had to delete said scenes, thus having the effect of her acting looking a lot worse. But it still wasn't great. So she's taken away and shown a picture of the predator they found. And the motherfucking kid's mother is introduced.
Frankenstein, you know, green skin. Threw a girl to see if she would float. No, okay. Well, let's go with pirate. Yeah?
The guys they'll still be able to see.
Are you fucking kidding me? Do you have any idea how overpriced costumes are these days? You ungrateful prick? Also, go as a fucking ghost. It's free!
This is dumb.
We then learn that McKenna was in fact captured as they evaluate him to see if he saw something.
This is dumb.
And the motherfucking kid opens up his father's package that wasn't addressed to him and starts pressing buttons to see if something happens. Are you sure he's special needs? Because to me, he comes across more as mentally retarded. Then again, that is kind of how everybody acts in this movie, as after they find out that McKenna knows something, they throw him on a bus full of crazy people.
This is dumb.
And by crazy people, I mean the main cast that can get killed off in the climax. We have the comedian, the magician, the Christian, and the guy with Tourette's. Well, they do have names and unique skills, but nobody gives a fuck. Well, apart from Nebraska Williams, who doesn't have any unique qualities, so he'll probably last the longest.
Why, Baxley? Why do we make more?
Baxley.
Because fuck cock. Because we fuck cock.
Fuck cocks.
That's it. Because we fuck cocks. That's why we get upset.
This isn't gonna end soon, is it? We then cut back to Dr. Brackett, who's been taken to a secret place, I guess, and we get a line that is actually funny.
Is it just your imagination? Or is this haunted room actually stretching?
Every fucking time?
That's kind of amazing. On top of that, they actually get Gary Busey's son, Jake Busey, to play Sean Keyes, who is the son of Peter Keyes from Predator 2. What's not so impressive is that they've already caught the fucking thing. I mean, no, technically that is impressive. What I meant to say is they forgot to show us this.
This is dumb.
Fun fact, though, this is the first time they ever call it a predator on film. It doesn't exactly explain this line.
You're one beautiful motherfucker.
But unlike AVP, this movie does at least have an R rating. So at least they didn't waste it on that. Anyway, it turns out Brackett is an evolutionary biologist, and she was brought in because they found her doing human DNA tests.
You want to know if someone fucked an alien?
She wants to speak with McKenna as he might know something, and another predator shows up, It wouldn't be that big a deal, but since the motherfucking kid is still messing with the equipment, it knows exactly where to go. This causes the first predator to wake up, and they try to stop it by holding it down. It goes well. Luckily, she manages to steal something plot relevant on the way out, and the predator is somehow able to use the display helmet to see through his old helmet that the kid currently has.
This is dumb.
So he's off to obtain that just as the looney bus arrives, and McKenna spots the predator and knows they must move, and the only way to do that is to hijack the bus. Luckily, the comedian knows how to get that done.
Hey, Baxley, if your mom's vagina were a video game, it'd be rated E for everyone.
This causes Tourette's to try to choke him, which wouldn't really accomplish anything. But in this case, these are truly the dumbest guards ever. Do you think this means he won't get that raise? And even though they have no fucking idea what this thing is, they decide they must kill it, because...
This is dumb.
So Brackett escapes onto the bus, and I'm really starting to think this is meant as a comedy, because not only does she shoot herself in the foot, but the fucking trained sniper can't even hit a close target with a fucking shotgun. This results in the bus being useless, and like I said, there are some funny lines.
I got you, lady.
Okay.
Let's go. Hey, come on. Sorry. Move.
And then again, some lines aren't.
Get to the chopper.
Now I'm disappointed. You're probably gonna die last. They all escape on the bikes, and the predator escapes too. By... I can't even explain this.
Everything okay back there?
You know, it's times like this that I'm glad that I'm not a real huge fan of this franchise. Unfortunately, I can't say the same thing for Alien. Meanwhile, the other Predator gets its dogs ready, 'cause that's the thing now, and the group takes shelter at a bike rally, in which some weird shit goes down.
There we go. Did you get that? That's too close to her hand. Yeah. But she's gonna drop that down.
Why? Normally, I would criticize the strong woman pulling the gun on the man that just saved her, but in this case, I can kind of see it. But of course, the gun's empty, and some more brilliant comedy awaits.
Eat your pussy.
Wait, what?
How you doing?
You know, you just said eat your pussy.
Hey, no.
How you doing?
No, you said eat my pussy. What the fuck is wrong with him?
I said you're pushy.
He said you're pushy.
No, you said eat your pussy.
I said sheesh. You're pushy.
No, you said
little
eat
pushy.
my pussy.
No, that's what he said. I heard it. He said, yeah, pushy. Which is also.
When the fuck does this end?
Pussy and-
She agrees to stay though, since the plot-relevant thing she stole means they want her dead, and McKenna realizes that since he stole its gear, he can use it to expose them. The only problem is the motherfucking kid has it, in which it turns on because the plot needs it to, so the kid puts it on, showing us... nothing of interest. Why did they... And McKenna shows up there. I'm gonna assume they're divorced. It's never really mentioned, but she's not too happy to see him.
No. The whole fucking reason I sent it to a P.O. box was so I didn't put you in danger.
You didn't pay the fees. If she was paying the fees, then she would have access. Nobody is this stupid.
This is dumb.
But where is the helmet, you might ask? The motherfucking kid took it trick-or-treating. I guess one size fits all. But what many people don't realize is that this is actually quite clever. If you recall, the motherfucking kid didn't want to be recognized, and now he won't be. He'll probably be made fun of for a number of other reasons, but at least they won't see the back of his head.
This is dumb.
But I'll admit, the scene when they're rummaging through her house is kind of funny, at first. But then they decide they don't want to help anymore because it's too dangerous, until a second later when they do anyway.
I'd like to watch TV with
Okay.
you. Good time. I liked your speech. I like the couch.
What the fuck was the point of this shit?
Just fuck me in the face with an aardvark.
You know, on second thought, let's just quit showing these clips. Then, in a confusing scene, the motherfucking kid accidentally blows up somebody's house, isn't bothered too much by it, uses the helmet to scare off the bullies, and then leaves it. These events don't add up. I know he's special needs, but why would he just leave it there if he's okay with what just happened? It doesn't make any remote sense.
This is dumb.
Well, at least he doesn't accidentally blow up the dog. This movie's not that low. But then the predator dogs show up, because like I said, that's a thing now. But then McKenna and his looney squad show up too, blowing one the hell up, and...
Oh, shit!
fucking up its brain with a bolt gun, making it nice. Okay. On the bright side, his son is now safe. They still don't have the helmet, but I'm sure it's fine. But then the Predator shows up and grabs the Christian. Luckily, Tourette's distracts him, and the three important characters escape into the building.
You know, we can keep running and we're giving back what he wants.
No fucking shit. We've already established this. It doesn't matter anyway, because after giving it back, the other Predator shows up. How it tracked them down, I don't know, but it's bigger and CGI, so that's a thing. And after the asinine shit we had to sit through so far, I feel a Predator on Predator fight is a nice payoff. I guess size does matter.
What's the big one, Doc? Is that like the male?
Sexist? It still wants its stuff back though, so that's gonna be a problem. And McKenna's wife disposes of her phone to keep him from being located, so that's gonna be a problem too.
You guys fucked with the wrong family.
Yeah, that's real impressive. But as long as you don't disagree for some reason, then remember to hit the like button right down below. And if you're really enjoying the hate for this film, then the subscribe button is right there too. So, Traeger figures that since McKenna's son knew how to operate the equipment, he's probably their best bet.
You don't want to know what that one is?
I know what it is. Our big boy's a hunter. He brought his dogs with him.
You could still check it, it's right there. Then again, these are pretty smart bad guys. Anyway, Brackett figures out that the stuff she stole is spinal fluid, and the Predators are trying to upgrade themselves by merging with things that are weaker than them.
She's pulling this out of your ass.
That is the correct response. Unfortunately, it's not the case.
This is dumb.
This is why you don't keep making movies after the ideas run out. You end up with a convoluted plot like this, and a main cast made up of cliché jokes. And then there's this.
You know, a lot of experts say that being on the spectrum isn't really a disorder. It's actually the next step in the evolutionary chain.
What the fuck are you talking about? The retarded dog then shows up because it followed them. The expected outcome after you shoot something in the brain. And the bad guys are there too, easily capturing them because fighting back this time was out of the question. But get this, the first Predator that is now dead was actually good. You see, apparently global warming is going to kill everybody, and the Predators want to get as much DNA as they can before everybody's dead, so that they can move in. It kind of makes you wonder why they want human DNA if humans aren't going to be able to live there, but those are just details. Who needs them? The point is, the dead predator was gonna help them stop this somehow. Kind of makes that scene when he killed those two people confusing. And I shit you not, he compares this to the Twinkie shortage of 2013.
There was a run on Twinkies. Snapped up from coast to coast. Get them while they still last.
First off, that lasted a few months at best, and also, what the fuck is this shit?
This is dumb.
But then the CGI predator shows up at the McKenna household, kills the men, and locates a clue to the crashed ship's location. A crayon drawing. What could be better? It's got trees, a mountain, and a little picture of the ship. A distinct location like no other. And oddly enough, you don't see the wife again in this movie. She runs up the steps and that's it. A big impact she had.
Terribly ingenious, highly imaginative, incredibly inventive.
Then the motherfucking kid actually draws a decent map, even though they didn't ask him to. McKenna escapes his captives, and just as Brackett is about to be executed, the predator dog thing brings her a grenade. Okay, you know what? Let's stop complaining about how little sense this makes, and instead question why nobody was guarding the fucking door!
This is dumb.
So she easily kills the trained soldier, and for some reason, she's afraid of the dog now. It's obviously tame.
Can I interest you in getting the fuck out of here?
Oh, getting the fuck out of here is my middle name.
That's gotta be the dumbest line yet. Top 5 maybe. Then he shits out the cloaking device from earlier.
Isn't that convenient?
But not as convenient as his friends obtaining a news helicopter just in the nick of time. Then Traeger takes the motherfucking kid to the crash site and tries to make him open the door using reverse psychology.
Nice reverse psychology. I can do that too. Don't go fuck yourself.
Oh no. But he still opens it because this movie has to end at some point. And McKenna's there too, using his cloaking device, and kills the other distinctive bad guy.
What, you're gonna kill us with a fucking trank gun?
You took my boy, so yeah.
Told ya.
That was kind of cool, but who again was that guy? The crazies kill the men outside right after McKenna said nobody else has to die. Don't know if they thought that through. But oddly enough, this doesn't get them anywhere, as Traeger isn't bothered by this too much. But then the CGI predator shows up and kills the magician. By that I mean he shoots off his arm, allows him to fire up a flare, and never gets mentioned again. How do they even know he's dead? This does cause a gunfight to break out, and the predator kills most of the men with its shitty CGI. It then takes control of a translator, allowing it to communicate.
I detect one among you who is a true warrior, the one called McKenna.
Yeah, this really isn't explained either. First they wanted DNA, now they want this. It's best you just stop thinking at this point. It does give them a nice head start, though, to run off and try to survive, because fairness is so important. But first, they cage up that dog thing, because it's probably gonna do something eventually, I guess. So with a good amount of time wasted, they head out. It doesn't take too long for it to show up, prioritizing people you don't know, but that's okay, because Traeger has that covered.
Traeger!
That was anticlimactic.
Then the comedian and Tourette's execute their own plan, which goes terribly wrong, but at least it's temporarily out of commission. Thus ends their sad story of, whatever they had going. But it's not out of commission too long, though, and it's revealed that when it said it wanted the one they call McKenna, it was referring to the motherfucking kid. Because he's autistic. I don't have the energy to complain about this, it's been said countless times, but there is one other thing.
The one called McKenna.
They never, once, in this whole motherfucking movie, called him by his last name McKenna. They called him Rory, as you commonly do with kids.
This is dumb.
Also, why didn't he just kill the kid right now? Along with his dad, for that matter, who keeps getting in the way. So they jump on the spaceship after it, primarily aiming for the non-breakable bits. But then the force field activates, and unfortunately for the Christian, he doesn't know what that is. And Williams must sacrifice himself to destroy the turbine, which a spaceship doesn't really need, but it brings it down nonetheless. Well, that is after McKenna gets inside and shoots the glass, but they all end up on the ground eventually. Meaning the final showdown can commence. It has action, character teleportation that makes no fucking sense, and the dog that she's still afraid of for some reason, bringing them a handy bomb, which he can use to blow off all of its limbs by shooting it in the leg.
What are you? Shut the fuck up.
Memorable villain dialogue, who needs it? He then pays his respects to his dead comrades, I guess it's supposed to mean something. And in one final questionable scene, in which McKenna and his son now work for the people who were trying to kill them, we finally see what the gift was.
I assume it needs to be...
Well, it's better than the alternative ending of it being Ripley or Newt, but still, and I know this is gonna sound odd, it's not getting me hyped for any potential sequel.
What the hell is that? That's my new suit, Bubba. I hope they got into 42 long.
Well, that was The Predator. And I'm really fucking glad I wasn't a fan of this franchise. Because if I was, I'd be extremely pissed off that the existence of this movie kind of ruins a lot of the other movies, as a good majority of this shit doesn't make any fucking sense in the grand scheme of the franchise. Like I said, I'm not too well versed in all that, but honestly, you don't have to be a fan to realize that this movie is fucking awful. It's convoluted as hell, really just does whatever it has to keep the plot going, and it's held together by a cast of characters that range from dull to whatever the fuck this was. They really have nothing going for them beyond a random gimmick the movie decided to give them, and a desperate attempt at forced comedy. On top of that, McKenna's dull as shit. Brackett is the token female who gets involved because she studied shit and whatnot. And the motherfucking kid is a poorly written plot device. The bad guys don't even bear mentioning, they're given no personality whatsoever, and I think their deaths symbolize that. As for the predators themselves, they make equally little sense. Whether it's wanting to steal human DNA to live on a planet where humans won't be able to survive, or the fact that the good predator immediately kills people even though he's supposed to be trying to help them, or the fact that the CGI predator doesn't even consider the possibility that killing the first predator might not be a good idea, as it knows where the ship is. And let's not forget the predator dogs that exist so one can get shot in the brain, turn good, and assist them in the final act. Storytelling at its finest. Oh, yeah, the story. I'd argue this movie doesn't have one. I could pretend the movie has some value, but honestly, even the action isn't that good due to the CGI predator. The first one was decent, but it didn't last that long. Some of the other scenes are okay, but it's not saving any of it. The movie is more focused on telling stupid jokes and forcing out plot threads that would piss off any true fan. But in the end, you don't have to be a fan to see what's wrong with this shitty movie. And even though I haven't seen Prey yet, I kind of want to see it now. I'm curious to see if the movie's really good, or just good in comparison to this, as The Predator is gonna be a hard movie to beat in terms of shitty quality. But hopefully, we won't have to see that. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, shooting somebody in the brain with a bolt gun to make them nice is done by professionals only. Don't try it at home, kids. Do not. So, you made it to the end, an impressive feat indeed. Since you managed that, consider checking out the gaming channel, in which I cover a variety of gaming topics, like in-depth gameplay, and analysis videos like this one. If you want to see that, then press the link in the description. It's that simple.